Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, rather had fun,
Well, all right. Well, all right. So you're on vacation. You're hanging out. Who's checking your new school shit, dude? What's going on? Are the customers pissed? How? What's up?
See that's where I'm always dialed. With school, it's basically I'm just kind of giving video feedback in like a community page. So anyone there goes on and they can ask any questions. They basically get access to me. So that's kind of like the first part of it. And I think I responded to someone this morning. So I'm locked in on that part. And then we have some modules. So some of the teaching stuff that I've really found that's helped my game, I've kind of put in this platform to help people with their journeys. And then I'll do some video calls once a week. So they'll get to see a little bit of the Tahoe experience out here on Wednesday. But I'm always plugged in with
Yeah.
school.
Yeah, so that's what I wanted to kind of ask you about because, like, I think obviously the person who first sort of dove into school, in my knowledge, in the pickleball side of things, is Kyle Kazuda, and he's been
Yeah.
like crushing it. He's built a really good community. A lot of people love the school app that he like uses for his community. And I saw that you were on there as well, and wanted to kind of like ask you about that because obviously, like, I'm a creator as well. I've got a million
Mhm.
different YouTube videos. So I'm super curious. There's been several different attempts at what I called like YouTube videos behind a paywall, which
Mhm.
I felt like never did particularly well. Like, what's the value proposition of somebody subscribing to TUI Pickleball Academy? It's $52 per month. I'm looking at it right
Yeah.
now. I don't know if you do any promos or anything, but like let's say you're gonna coach me up, Connor, because
Mhm.
like anybody could use a little bit better of a two-hander. I got a pretty good two-hander, not as good as you, but and honestly, you should get Loong in your academy. But what do I
He's the
get?
goal of
What do I
recovery.
get when I
Yeah.
what do I get?
No, that I think that's like I actually one of my buddies, he did this for some like kind of e-commerce stuff and he like told me about it. And then I saw Kyle crushing it. And obviously Kyle's built like a huge following on just like giving instructional videos. And so I kind of had to think about like what's my value proposition? Like why are they gonna come to me over someone who's got the science down a little bit more on the videos? And so I really kind of for like a couple months was like, okay, what do I know how to do? Obviously, on the pro side, I I mean, both you and I know like you have to constantly keep adapting your game, and so I really wanted to take some of those insights I've learned and synthesize them in some videos, so people get a little bit more access to that. I think that's kind of the first thing that they get, and then the second thing
Wait,
is,
wait. What does that mean? More access to that, right? Because you
yeah,
have a good YouTube presence. Like, are you putting out like different videos in your school or like more thorough explanations?
more in depth. I think this is almost a way to kind of geek out. Like I go really analytical on this, and so I think when I've been playing around with the YouTube algorithm, I try and keep it a little bit punchier on YouTube. So it's like, hey, like this gets you
Yeah.
engaged, and it's like this is a little bit more like here's the like the big concept, not like okay, here's like how we really break it down, what actually matters. I think one of the things that I got really excited about is I've been kind of tinkering around with some of my mechanics and really trying to find like everyone in pickleball has like a little bit different of strokes. And so I kind of went and looked and was like, hey, like, here is how I hit the shot. Here is how everyone in pickleball, these are the things you have to do. Now let me give you my flavor of like why I do these things on top of it. So it's really more granular, I think, is the biggest thing. And people on YouTube, typically to get the most views, you have to go a little bit more high level on that. And I think that's the big differentiator in that aspect.
Yeah, definitely. So this is more for it's less playing the algorithm game. It's more about like, all right, you don't have to capture this person. They're already there. What's the best instruction that you can give to them? I totally get that, right? Like
Yeah.
for me, I've had to adapt on YouTube to like, all right, how do I create a hook to make sure people are watching
Yeah.
for the first 30 seconds or whatever? It's like, it's not really what I want to do, but in order to get this to
Yeah.
its correct audience, you've got to like play the analytics game and that sort of game. But like, so you can focus right on the very technical, very granular sort of stuff, which you've got a small but like solid community. You've got 43 members from what I see right now, which means that you can also like, pay attention to them. And so it sounds like they can also like submit their game footage to you. You'll
Yeah.
personally review it and whatnot as well.
Yeah, and I think, like, one thing for me too, kinda on that note is, like, I feel like what gets me most excited is really being able to kind of share some of that knowledge and, like, just, like, learn the game, like, I'm constantly learning, and so, to your point on YouTube, it is a little bit like you have to play this game of, like, "Can I get this catchy hook?" And so, being able to have these one-on-one interactions with people, see their results is just it kinda gets me fired up. I think a lot of the things I do on the
Yeah.
side is like, how do I get excited about pickleball? And this kind of I can see those results in it, and that's pretty cool as well.
Yeah, definitely. You get like on YouTube, you throw something out into the abyss, and you like hope people, maybe they'll comment and say that they've like implemented it, and that's always awesome to see. I love it when somebody will say like, "Hey, this has really helped my game," whatever. And but like you actually get to see it through video evidence, and that's like I guess that's an extra level of gratification there. And I will say like the YouTube thing is also difficult because I really can't think of hardly any absolutes in pickleball, right?
Yeah.
When I'm teaching a 3-0 how to dink, it's different than the mechanics are different between
Yeah.
3-0, 3-5, 4-0, 4-5, 5-0. You make a video on YouTube and you'll say one thing and you can't give all of the appropriate context in a 5-minute YouTube video, and people take everything as absolute in these
Yeah.
videos when it's not. I think maybe 50% of the things that we do as pros are applicable to a 3-0 player, and
Yeah.
you just can't get that sort of in-depth conversation on YouTube.
Yeah, no, well said there, and I think, like, that's one thing that, especially, like, in-person clinics, you can really hit home. It's like, okay, like, here is the rule, but here are the why you can make an exception to the rule. And so really
Mhm.
understanding that, like, across my teaching, people are like, "Oh, like, you have to do this, like, so and so said this," and it's like, they did say this, but let's unpack that to that next level. And so this can kind of help get that, like, next level in a more universal way and just allow people to ask questions. I think that's another huge thing. To your point, it's these universal truths. Once people start asking a little bit more on them, they start to understand that, yes, this is a great rule, but we can break them. I mean, how many times do you see pros speeding up cross court now? And the conventional wisdom is like down the line and middle. But if someone's cheating really hard middle, I'm going to go cross court because now that's open. So, but then you get someone on YouTube saying like, "Hey, like you said to speed up line and middle," and so that
Right.
expansion on it is kind of fun.
Exactly, yeah, if you're I mean, there's only so much that you can really tell somebody who's in their elementary or beginner phase of pickleball. You also don't want to you can't override them with a ton of information, right? Like,
Yeah.
I would love to explain to, 30 74-year-old Kathy the intricacies of the crossbody cross court speed up. That's just probably not productive for anybody. Um, like, yeah. So the ability to coach to the player is good, but are you going to like so how do you feel like you're gonna keep that sort of intimate feel for your academy? Are you gonna limit it to a certain amount of members? Like what's the ultimate sort of goal there for the school to a pickleball
Yeah, no,
academy?
no, 100 like, great question there. I think as long as I can kinda feel like I'm giving a personal touch to everyone and able to, like, hop in and be a resource to everyone, I think, like, the ultimate goal here and kind of one of the reasons I got into pickleball a little bit as well from investment banking is, like, do what you love and feel like you're making a difference, and then kind of, like, the monetization will naturally follow. And I think inversely, if you're trying to force something, people will feel that too. So I don't have like a finite number of people for that, but I think like for me, it's really important that people are having the results that they want to get out of this. And so it's a little bit of like starting it out, engaging, maybe bringing in more people to help out on the technical side. Maybe it's capping it at a certain number, but really the focus is making sure everyone feels like they're getting personalized attention.
Yeah, for sure. Interesting. Well, I love having conversations around like the business side of things. You and I sort of share that with you as an investment banker before pickleball and me as a CPA before pickleball. Like, doesn't surprise me that both of us have sort of started to create our own businesses within pickleball because, there's plenty of time in the day to get our pickleball training done. What
Yeah.
are we going to do with the other 10 hours a day? You and me don't sit still particularly well. So it'll be fun to sort of watch on this journey, see how you scale or don't scale and keep it personal, like whatever that ends up being. I am, very curious and I think it'll be a good model for potentially other pros to have their own sort of personalized touch.
Yeah. I'm